Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Wednesday, the 22nd of December. Um, it's a medium level day in the Guardian. I do have some work coming up, but I believe that I've got enough time to complete this without too many problems. Let's have the news today. Madagascar. We don't often have news from Madagascar, do we? I don't think I've ever mentioned the country in the year that I've been doing this channel. Anyway, a good story. Well, vaguely good. Um, the Minister of Police, 57-year-old Serge Gale, if that's how you pronounce his name. I apologize if I haven't quite got it right, but and one other person managed to swim 12 hours to get back to shore after their helicopter crashed. That's pretty good going, don't you think, for a 57-year-old? I just turned 60. I do go swimming. Well, I haven't been swimming for a month because of various problems, but you like to go swimming, but I don't think I could swim for 12 hours. I would have been eaten by anything swimming along there, for sure. So congratulations to him on making it back safely. Let's hope their helicopters are well more. I'm not sure. I don't know what happened there, but let's hope their helicopters don't have any more accidents. Um, okay, let's get back on with today's Guardian medium level. If you've never played Sudoku before, a quick rundown of the rule bracket S bracket, because really there is only one rule, but it's kind of split into different parts. There are numbers going across, numbers going down, squares going across with numbers in them, and squares going down with numbers in them. And then there are these outline sections that we refer to as blocks usually, and they also have squares with numbers in. And you'll notice the numbers vary between 1 and 9. No lower than 1, no higher than 9. That's because there are 9 squares across, 9 down and 9 in each block. And that's our mission, to put each number into its square, whereby the puzzle becomes complete. Okay, that's easy to understand, isn't it? How do we go about it? We say, for example, this 6 cannot reappear in this row, so it blocks along this row, cannot appear again. This 6 cannot appear in this row again. So you can see none of these 3 squares in this central block could be 6, and neither can these 2 because of this 6. Okay, so we have a blocking pattern here, blocking pattern here. Then when we come to the bottom, we see this column here, we can see blocking up. So blocked, blocked, and blocked. If you imagine that kind of thing, you will see that the 6 has to go there. There is no other space for it to go. Got the idea now? Great. 8 blocks up this column, 8 blocks down this column, and 8 blocks across here. So the same thing, block, block, block. Our 8 must fit into this square here. Now let's take that 8 that we just used. Now I've put blue ink on my left hand. That's okay, you can't see my left hand. 8 blocking across here, 8 blocking across here. Just one other space where an 8 can appear. Okay, so those are a couple of easy numbers to begin with. Let's see if we can find any more easy numbers. Yes, we can. We can see 5 blocking across this row here, right? So disallowed from these 2 squares, and therefore must be placed in there. The missing numbers for this block are 1 and 2. We don't have 1 or 2. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we know 1 and 2 must fit into these 2 squares. And we can see a 2 disallowing this square. And so 2 must fit here and 1 must be positioned like so. We don't yet have a 4 in this row across. But look, there's a 4 blocking this square down here. And so we know 4 must go there. Now we only have one number. Now if you one empty square, so if you only see one empty square in a row, column, or block, that's where you should go next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no 7. We've got 8 and 9, so we can say that 7 has to go there. Okay. Right. What comes next? Well, this 7 blocks across here. And that's it, 7 blocks across here. So these 2 squares are out for 7. We don't yet have a 7 in this block. We do now. And the missing numbers here, again, are 1 and 2. That's unusual. 1 and 2 are the missing numbers here. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1 stops this square from being a 1. 1 goes there, 2 has to go there. Now you can see there's only one empty square, so as I mentioned before, if you've got one empty square, you find it, it's a 3. 1, 2, there's no 3 anywhere in this row, and so that must be there. And if you're a beginner and you want to check that everything is okay, you can count through the rest, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Make sure that you haven't made any mistakes. And sometimes even when you're not a beginner, it's a good idea for those of us prone to making mistakes, which is probably everybody. 6 blocks up here, 6 blocks up here, and 6 blocks across here. So that gives us a 6 in that square right there. 6 blocks along this bottom row here. So these 3 squares are out for a 6. Out for a 6. That's not a cricketing term, is it? 6 blocks down here, 6 blocks down here. That's going to put a 6 in that location there. Well, they did give us quite a lot of easy ones today. Maybe now it's time to sit back and think a bit harder. So you need to keep looking all around the grid. Don't just get stuck in one position. That won't help you. Ah, gotcha. So 4 blocks across here, 4 blocks across here, and 4 blocks up here. So that there is a 4. Okay, in this column here, we don't yet have a 6, but there is a 6 blocking this square, and there's a 6 over here blocking this square. Oh, we do have a 6. I take it back. Oh, dear. Oh, my pronouncement was... I mean, there you go. See what I mean about checking for mistakes? Fortunately, I caught that one in time. I've been making a lot of mistakes recently in these videos. Need to think more carefully or check more carefully before I speak, but sometimes I'm just anxious to say something because I think you might forget that I'm here. Well, okay, so I think at this stage, I can't highlight on the screen as I often do when I'm playing on the computer. So since I'm playing with pen and paper, I'm going to put in some pencil marks that I think will assist me come to the end of the game. So let's see, we have 1 blocking up here and a 1 blocking up here. So I know that 1 has to be either in this square or this square. Again, if you're new to Sudoku, we call these pencil marks, sometimes refer to them as candidates. These are the only 2 squares where 1 can go. Now it's important to look for pairs. For example, this 1 blocks this square, so I know 1 is either here or here. That's a pair within a block. You'll find this is a useful thing for Sudoku. Okay, so I'm particularly looking for pairs. At the moment I can't find any more for 1. So let's go on with 2. Now there are some pairs for 2 because I saw them before. There we go. So 2 blocks up here and 2 blocks up here. So 2 is in either that square or that square. And what was the other? Where was the other thing I saw? Okay, 2 blocks down here and 2 blocks across here, right? A long blocking across here and across here. So 2 is either here or here. Now there is another thing that I'm going to point out, that 2 blocks across here and 2 blocks across here. So 2 is limited to these 3 squares here. Now, this is not a pair, but it is useful in Sudoku sometimes to know if something is limited to a particular row or column. So I have placed the 2 in the bottom right here. These 2s are in the top left because they indicate a pair, but if it's not a pair, I put them in the bottom right-hand corner to just say this is a candidate, but it's not a pair. Okay. 3 is quite problematic, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah, 3 we can't tell very much of. 4 blocks down here and down here, so we know that 4 is in one of those 2 squares. 4 blocks down here and down here, so we know that 4 is in one of those 2 squares. Now again, we've got 3, 4 blocking, 4 blocking. So we've got 3 possible squares for 4. So I'll put them in the bottom right because they're not a pair, but it is useful to understand that they're restricted to a single column. 5s, we can do something with 5s. 5 blocking up here, and across here. So we can put in a pair of 5 candidates up there. 5s go across it. By the way, these are 2 and 5 that run across here. I may as well put these in, I suppose. They can go anywhere. Okay. Now back to the 5s. 5 blocking down here, and across here, so we can place a pair of 5s like that. Okay. 6s. What do we know about 6? Okay, 6 blocking across here, and up here, so we can place a pair of 6s there. 6 across here and across here, we can place a pair of 6s there. That's it. 7s. 7. What do we know? 7 blocking down here and 7 blocking down here, so a pair of 7s in those squares. Not much else. 8s now. 8 blocks up here and across here, so a pair of 8s as candidates in those squares. 8 blocks across here and down here, so a pair of 8s here. This is looking quite good because I see 3 pairs that are different numbers in one square, and that means that when you get one of these, everything falls very quickly usually. Do we know anything else? No, that's it for 8. Okay, and then finally 9. 9 blocks up here, 9 blocks up here. So 9 is in one of these 3 squares in this column, but we can't quite put it into a pair yet. What else do we know? No, that's it, I think, for pair candidates. Okay, so we've got in place a lot of paired candidates, quite a few paired candidates, and some triples. That means but restricted to a row or a column. And so I think let's begin filling in the other candidates. I don't think there are any. I can't see anything else that has to be done here. 1, 2. We're missing 3, 7, and 9 in this column, but we don't have any intersecting 3s, 7s, or 9s. So it's really difficult to see here. Nothing else. 5, 6, 4. No, there aren't any. I've looked already. I don't see any logical way out. So I'm just gonna. That means from this point on in, I need to fill in the rest of the candidates. So let's do that now. So we've got 1 here, 2 here. We don't yet have a 3 in this block. Now we have 3 blocks down here. So 3 is allowed in these 3 squares. Now it's not a pair, but I'll put it down there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've done everything there now, and you can see that we are left with a single 4. And this is the reason why we put these candidates in. It allows us to see stuff much more easily. So now we know that's a 4. But what we have to do is we have to remove the extra candidate that we have there now that is no longer useful. But also, if you remember, we had 4 here as a pair and here. So we can get rid of that 4 and we can get rid of that 4. Now, two things will happen. First up, because this is in the top left, it's part of a pair, so 4 has to go here. And when I remove this candidate 4 now, because it's in the same row, we're going to be left with a single 4 here. And therefore, because this 5 is part of a pair, I can place the 5 there. Okay, and it also means now that these 2's are the only 2's left, so I'm going to promote them to the top left, promote them to a pair, make it easier to see. Also, 5 blocks across here, 5 blocks across here, so now we have a pair of 5 candidates in those squares there. Okay. Now, at this, when we've done something like that, it's worthwhile often checking to see if there are any other things. So, for example, I have to recheck this column and see if there's anything that can be done. So the missing numbers are 1, 3, and 6. 6 could go here, can still go there. 1 and 3, no, we don't have any indicators yet on the 1 or the 3. So that's as much as we can do, I think. How about the 4's here? That's nothing to change there. Nothing changed there. 1 there or there, 2, 5. Okay, right. No, something else has changed now, because 1 block's down here and 1 block's across here. So now we can say that there are a pair of 1's here. 1 blocking across here, 1 blocking down here. It wasn't true before because we had the 4 there, but now we know that 1 is limited to a pair here. And so what does it mean? Because 1 is in one of these 2 squares, must be one of these 2 squares, this candidate 1 can no longer be true. So we can erase it if you've written in pencil. In my case, I write in pen, so I have to cross it out. And we can place our 1 there, and now we're left with a pair of 2 and 5. No need to put these in the top left, I think, because they're pretty easy to see within the block there. Right, something else that you might want to know is that because this is 2 and 8, 2 or 8 I should say, there's one other blank square at the end. I know that this is also either 2 or 8. Now actually this time it doesn't make any difference. I don't have any intersecting 2's or 8's to tell me, but I will know that that is either a 2 or 8 because it must match this. Right, now where to go next? I could just carry on along this lower chute. When you have 3 blocks in a row like this, or like this, we call them chutes. That's C-H-U-T-E, the kind of thing that you slide along or send the laundry down, or the rubbish, or whatever it is. So I shall just continue and see about putting in other candidates. So we've got 1, 2, we have now 3 blocks this square here, but 3 can go anywhere else in this block. So let's put in candidate 3 in the bottom right hand corner like that. 4, 5, 6 is done already. We haven't done candidate 7 yet. 7 blocks down here, so none of these 3 squares can be 7, but 7 can appear in the others. So that's there, there, and there. 8 we have already. 9 we don't yet have. 9 blocks down here and 9 blocks across here. So 9 can appear in these 3 squares. So 9 like this. And again, look what happened. We left ourselves with a single 7. Now that that 4 has been done, we're left with a single 7. All the other candidates are in place. So we can put in a 7 here now. And then remember, we have to remove the 7's that we put in as prospective candidates here and here. Okay. And the other thing we should do is, since we put in the 7, that blocks up here, and there's a 7 blocking across there now. So now we can place a 7 there. Let's continue with those 7s. I say 7 blocks across the top row, 7 blocks across the second row. Here we don't have any intersecting 7s, but we know that 7 is in one of those 2 squares. But something important, now we have 7 blocking this square, 7 blocking this square. Oh no, we've got 7. Nothing important there. Oops, I almost overreached again. I'm in an overreaching kind of mood today, I think. Right, next. Just ignore that. Almost slip up. What do I see here? I see this is 9 and 3. Now if I just said to you about 2 and 8, this has to be 2 or 8. If you see 9 and 3 like this in an empty square, and there is one other empty square, you know that this will have to be either 9 or 3. Okay, 9, 3 here. This has got to be 9, 3. You don't have to kind of count through and see. It's easy. Now, the 3 blocks this square, so we know this can't be a 3. This has to be the 9, and the 3 has to go there. Now, what we need to do is remove candidate 3 from all of its potential candidate positions here, and when we do that, we are left, you'll see, with a single 2 here, and when we get rid of that 2, we're left with a 1 there. Okay, and then that will give us, let's get rid of candidate 1, that will give us just a pair of 5 and 9. I'm going to put these, there you go, to make it easier for everybody to see, including myself, 5 and 9, like that. Now, up here we had 2 or 5. This 2 means this can no longer be 2. So that's going to be a 5, and our 2 will go there. Back down now, the 5 blocks this square, so that will have to be a 9, and our 5 will be there. Okay, let's take these 5s and say 5 blocking up here, 5 blocking up here, 5 across here. So now we know that 5s are in those 2 squares. The other missing number we have is 2. 2 blocking up here, 2 blocking up here. 2 is somewhere in this column. We can't limit it though to a pair, but we'll put it there like that. So now we know 5, 8 and 2 are here, so we have 2 other numbers to place here, which are 9 and 3. The 9 blocks up there, the 3 blocks up there. Okay, so this is a 3 and this is a 9. Remember to remove candidate 9 in the same row, and now we have a pair of 9s, so I'm going to promote them to the top left, as again, just to make it easier to see. This is the kind of thing I don't really need to do it at this level. This is just a medium level game, but I find that it helps a lot if you're doing this. Take this idea and use this technique when you're playing at the higher levels, when it's much harder. Right, so where should I investigate next? Well, I've got either this block or that block to investigate, I think. So let's see, we don't yet have a 1 in this block, but we have 1 blocking down here and 1 blocking across here, so immediately we can say 1 must be here, and we can take that 1 and say 1 blocking up this column, this 1 blocking up this column, so we can put a pair of 1s there. 1, 2, we don't have a 3 yet. We have 3 blocking this square, but that's all. So 3 is either that square or that square. 4, 5, 6, we don't have 7 yet. 7 blocks this square, so 7 is a pair either there or there. Okay. Now, this is quite a good game, by the way. Quite often medium level games are pretty just, you don't really need to think very much or do very much, but I'm enjoying this game a lot actually, so I hope you are too, despite my flaws. Right, in candidate placing, not my personal flaws, those ones you shouldn't care about. Up here, let's see, we've got 1, 2, we don't have 3 yet. 3 blocks up here, 3 blocks this square here. So 3 can come here, here, or here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are done. We're just looking for 9 now, and you can see 9 blocks up here, 9 blocks up here, 9 blocks here, so we can now place a 9. Got it? 9 blocking up here, across here. So 9, in fact, goes there, and now we can say we had 9 as a pair here, so that 9 will no longer be true. Let's why I promoted it up to a pair. You can see it more easily. 9 must be there, and we can remove the excess candidate now. Right, now we see 3 7. That's got to be 3 7. Yes, it is. Okay, that matches. Now we are also left with a single 1 here. We've put in all the candidates now. We are left with a single 1 here now, and that's because it can't be 6 and it can't be 3, and 3, 6 and 1 are the 3 numbers we need to finish this column. So 1 goes there, and we can remove candidate 1 here and remove candidate 1 here, and now we are left with a single 1 there. Two empty squares, and it's marked as 8 or 2, so this will have to be either 8 or 2. We can see it can't be 8, so we know that the 8 has got to go there and the 2 has got to go there. Now we have an 8 candidate to remove. Our pencil mark there. Okay, so now we're left with 5 and 2 just in those squares. Now we have one empty square down here. It said 2 or 3. We've got a 2 here now, so we know the 3 goes here. This is 7 or 3. We've got a 3 now, so we know 7 goes there now. We've got 7, 3, so this can't be 7, can't be 3. It's got to be 8. This is 2 or 8. We've got an 8, so that is now 2. We've got this 3 here, so that leaves a 7 there. 7 gives us a 3 in that square. The 3 gives us a 6 in that square. Back down here, that's a 3. We've got 7, so that's a 6. Okay, now we get rid of candidate 6. We're just left with a single 2 there, and then 7 must be in that square there. This 2 means this has to be a 5. This is a 2. This 5 means that can't be true, so the 5 is there. We've got one number to complete this block, and it's a 3. You'll see 1, 2, there's no 3. We've got everything else, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so that's a 3. And one number to complete either this row, this block, or this column. It is the same number. It's 8, whichever way you look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 if you want to check. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you go. That looks to be a complete puzzle. I don't think I made any mistakes there. If I did, I'm sure you'll tell me. Any fatal mistakes anyway. I made an occasional slip up on the way, just tripped up slightly, but managed to regain my balance and get to the end. That's it for the morning Sudoku puzzle. Let's hope I can remember to upload it today. Like I keep not forgetting to upload, but it just the YouTube site sometimes delays in uploading, and I forget that I've got to click on the button at the end. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.